Abe, it is Wednesday, the 9th of December, 2015. Someday in the future, I will have my shit together to a degree that this will be a Project for Awesome video. But this is not that year. So instead, I want to tell you about a book I read. I talked about the first book in the series a while ago in my Shared Worlds book haul video, which you can watch on my channel. But I just got the sequel. The first one was called The Selection. This one is called The Elite. And what's funny is that I didn't have any intention of loving these books. I expected it to be complete fluff. And what I got was not that. The first one is about this girl gets selected for, it's basically a marriage competition to marry a prince. But it's set in the future rather than in a fantasy world. And there's all of this political instability and rebels, and it's all dystopian. It's just so cleverly written. The characters are so relatable. The main character's name is America. She's so awkward. It's like normal for these kinds of heroines to be awkward and sort of uncomfortable in social situations so that, oh, they're more like you because you're awkward. But usually what that is that it's like established in the beginning and then never really comes up again. This child is legitimately awkward the whole way through. Oh boy. She makes you cringe sometimes. But like you're right there with her. You relate to her. And not in a way that feels manipulative. So I went into the first book expecting it to be mediocre, fun fluff. And what I got was phenomenal. So I picked up this book expecting it to be phenomenal. And what I got for the first half or so was very good, which was a little disappointing because it was not phenomenal. They had this love triangle, and while it is still a more believable love triangle than most, it was still a little annoying. So, most love triangles, you know exactly who she's going to end up with. But this, I still am not totally sure what guy she's going to end up with. Or she even brought up the prospect of not ending up with either of them, which is totally a revelation in these kinds of books. Even though it's well done, it's still not the most interesting thing we could do with my characters. The first part is basically her having an interaction with Boy A, deciding she's in love with Boy A, deciding that nothing could ever compare to Boy A, and then she runs into Boy B, and she's totally in love with Boy B, and there's nothing that she can do, and she's sold her heart to Boy B. Forget Boy A, and then she sees Boy A again. It goes back and forth like that for a thoroughly unnecessary amount of time. Like, we get it. You set it up in the first book. You could spend one chapter with one interaction with each guy and we'd be done. But then, it gets back to politics. Can we get back to politics? It's a lot better. As soon as the political stuff comes back, as soon as the rebels come back, as soon as a very important plot twist that I'm not going to tell you happens, and then she, even though she likes Guy A still, she doesn't think she can marry him anymore, because if this is what being a princess means, then she's not gonna be able to pull it off. And what's more, she doesn't know if she wants to. She doesn't know if she likes him anymore because of this thing that he has to do. And then there's another plot twist which makes him redeemable again. And you're just like, oh my god, what is going on in this book? And then it just spirals from there. It's so good. And the characters, like, you didn't really get time to develop a lot of characters in the last one because there were 35 girls and 2 love interests. But now there are only 6 girls and 2 love interests, and so we spend a bit more time getting to know everybody. We get to know the king a bit. We get to know Queen Amberly. We see her sister again, and I love her sister. And we get to know the other girls who remain a lot better, because mostly they were kind of interchangeable in the last one, except for the bitchy one and the best friend. But they all have distinct personalities, they all have distinct reasons for being there, and even though they're her rivals, they're like super likable people, except for the bitchy one who's still pretty bitchy. And just the second half of this book was everything that I wanted it to be, and I just wish they hadn't spent so much goddamn time on is she gonna go with Maxon or Aspen? That's the least interesting part of the book. Let me hide in some closets while people are trying to kill us. And are they really in the right? And the politics of this country are so fucked up. I love it. It's so good. It's so smart. So yeah, read this. There's still one more book in the series. I'll probably talk about it on here because these books, I just care about them a lot. So that's what I have for you today, Abe. I'll see you on Saturday. But I will actually see you in person on Saturday. Happy Hanukkah.